Good day, everybody. Welcome to today's video. In today's video, I got a 2011 F150. It's got the automatic transfer case in it. One of the issues we're going to work on in a later video, but in this video, I want to change the oil. I want to see if there's anything wrong with it before we go on to the next project. To change the transfer case oil, the skid pan is like an L-shaped, and it's held on by 4 bolts, which are really easy to take out. If I do remember correctly, they are a 13 mil. I know it doesn't show it in the video, just did a little bit in the very start, that there is an actual drain pan underneath. Now when you change your transfer case oil, you want to make sure your fuel plug can come out first. And I've said this many times, if your fuel plug doesn't come out and you removed your drain plug, you're in a lot of hurt. And also, if you remove your fuel plug and a bunch of oil, like a whole bunch of oil starts coming out, that means the seal between your transmission and transfer case is blown and it's pushing oil into your transfer case. So that's something else you want to look at. So now that the top fuel plug's out, I'm going to remove the rear one. And once it starts coming out a little bit, I get it loose enough that I can remove it by hand. And that way, if I need to adjust the drain pan, I can do that quickly. But the oil comes out. It's not too dark. And I didn't notice a bunch of metal filings in it. So at this point, I'm pretty confident that his issue that we're having with his transfer case is not internal. Now once it drains, you want to put the plug back in. You could use Teflon tape or any other kind of sealant. I've never used anything and I've never had any issues with it leaking, but that's totally up to you and how you want to do it back in. So I just tighten it up. Now, the biggest thing comes down to oil. If you're having any issues at all, go to the Ford dealership and get the correct oil. We're using Mercon LV to refill the transfer case. And of course, when you go to fill up the transfer case, I have the little pump, which makes it really easy. I just stick the tube in there and start pumping oil. But if you don't have a little pump, it could be a little bit difficult because you're not really going to be able to get a funnel or anything else in there. So I believe on this transfer case, it was about 1.5 quarts until it was filled up. And you can tell when it's filled up is that when you're pumping, oil will start coming out of the fill hole. As you can see here, I removed the tube and oil is still draining out. So I'm just going to let that drain out till it stops. And then I'm going to put the fuel plug back in. I forgot to mention earlier, but the fill and drain plugs can be removed with a 3/8 ratchet. Don't over tighten it. I mean, don't keep reefing on it till you can't go anymore. It's an MPT thread. It's a tapered fit, so don't get crazy. And then once you're done, just put the skid pan back on. I use blue Loctite on all the screws just because you don't want this thing to rattle loose when you're driving and fly out and hit somebody behind you. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or comments, post them below. And I'll see you guys in the next one.